Today, NSA Director General Keith Alexander is expected to release a list of dozens of terror plots foiled by surveillance programs. The newly declassified information will show the programs helped stop attacks in the U.S. and more than 20 other countries.
On Sunday's Face the Nation, Bob Schieffer asked the White House Chief of Staff about the privacy concerns of Americans.
Well, let me just get you on the record here now. Does the president feel that he has violated the privacy of any American?
He does not.
You feel that that has been taken care of. You know, I think back to what Ronald Reagan used to say, trust but verify. But in this situation, it seems to me the government may be asking us to trust it, but they can't verify why we ought to trust it.
The president is not saying, trust me. The president is saying, I want every member of Congress on whose authority we are running this program to understand it, to be briefed about it, and to be comfortable with it.
Our senior correspondent John Miller served in the office of the Director of National Intelligence. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Nora.
Good morning.
What's the latest?
Well, it's been an interesting weekend because over the weekend, Mr. Snowden has unearthed more revelations that he's given out to different newspapers, including The Guardian. But the key thing is he's not talking just about alleged U.S. spying on Americans, which was the discussion all last week. He's talking about British spying on allies. He's talking about U.S. spying on Russian leaders. And it seems to be a departure from I'm doing this because Americans don't know their privacy has been violated to I'm just giving out all the spying secrets of the U.S. government.
But no big surprise that the U.S. is spying on foreign governments.
I was shocked and appalled.
I mean, you know, I think one of the interesting
and then you clapped.
Yes.
Well, but I'm kind of missing the point, which is you start off as a whistleblower saying Americans need to be listened in on, and then you're just handing out stuff saying, you know, the Brits listened in on these people, we listened in on the Russian leader. Well, that's what they do in a spy agency. I'm trying to figure out where he's going here, unless it's just to do as much damage as possible to the NSA.
I think what's fascinating is the response by the administration. So you see now the Senate Intelligence Committee releasing this letter from the administration where they say they've thwarted a number of attacks, that they only spied on fewer than 300 phone records were reviewed. They're trying to show, look, this program worked and the spying is not as vast as some would suggest. Why that pushback now, though?
Well, I think there was no need to have that pushback now because before Snowden started revealing them, these things weren't out there. I'll tell you where they were out, is they were out to congressional oversight committees that approved them. They were out to Justice Department lawyers who said they were legal. They were out to the three branches of government that would review a secret program. I think what they're doing now is, now that the cow is out of the barn, we're going to have to explain a little more about process because some of this story has run away with itself.
What I don't understand is why they haven't initiated the extradition process.
You know, you've got lawyers doing what lawyers do, which is they are trying to cross T's and dot I's, and they are torturing every sentence with what's just the perfect charge that's going to work in a trial a year and a half from now.
In the meantime, he's talking.
You've got intelligence officers just on the other side of that river in Washington saying, why don't we just give him a couple of more weeks to see what else he can dig out? So there's a little tension developing in Washington saying, let's move this process forward.
The president's chief of staff told Bob Schieffer, I don't know where he is right now. Do we think that Snowden is all talking to the Chinese right now?
Well, that's certainly a dark possibility. You've got Hong Kong attached to mainland China. It's a semi-autonomous government, but I'd put a capital S on the semi. And, you know, you have a major adversary there and a guy with a bag full of secrets who seems to be now much less discriminate about what he'll give out and to whom. You know, it was interesting. We had 3 NSA whistleblowers sit down with USA Today and say, you know, we applaud this guy for not going through the government process because we tried that and it didn't work, just going public. But then they started to say about these other secrets he's giving up, that's not whistleblowing. That's just giving up. It's bordering on being a traitor is the words one of them used.
John Miller, thank you.